to Aware. We are dedicated to communicating information that inspires your positive growth and change. Are you interested in a peaceful planet? Are you interested in optimal health? Are you living with purpose? Are you enjoying your life? We realize each person can make a difference, and our mission is to empower your awareness. The choices that you make in every moment shape your life, and we encourage you to realize that you have your own answers and to always listen to your own truth. We invite you to stay aware.
Hello and welcome to the Aware Show. I am Lisa Garr, and I'm so happy to be with you today because we get to talk about another one of my favorite topics, you. We have an amazing guest on today, Susan Miller. She is the iconic founder of astrologyzone.com, which, by the way, was created in 1995. Her website is really, it's, oh my God, it's read by 13 million unique readers. She's so progressive when it comes to now her new app, which is Astrology Zone Horoscopes. I love her app because you get your daily reading every day, just pops up right there. My daughter's on there. And then also there's a full subscription where you can get an in-depth month in a glance for yourself. And she is incredibly accurate, has always been so accurate. And you know this because she has basically done astrology for almost every celebrity that you know about, and predicts wonderful trends. She's one of the most influential and highly respected astrologers known globally around the world. Welcome, Susan Miller.
Thank you.
You started Astrology Zone in a time where it wasn't popular to start, online astrology. It was usually in magazines, right?
Yes. Well, the digital world was just starting in 1995. That's when Amazon started, and that's when Match.com started. There were a lot of astrology sites that are no longer there. But what's fun, and I invite your readers to do this, go to the Wayback Machine. It is hosted by another company, but if you put Wayback Machine in Google, it'll come up. It's a museum of the web in the early days, so you can see all the first sites. And for some reason, they copied a lot of my material. I was shocked. Somebody up there must have liked my website.
Right. All Silicon Valley, and here you are with this wonderful astrology website. And I love that because, in addition to you authoring 17 books on astrology and writing for all of these incredible publications like Vogue Japan and Vogue China and all these great places, you brought it to a very easy to understand level.
Yes.
And so
it can be very technical and unnecessarily when you're writing. You don't have to impress normal laymen. Too many astrologers are trying to impress. I'm trying to communicate.
That is the key. That's the main difference between you and most of the astrologers that I talk with, because I get so lost about what house is happening where, and you do this beautiful personification of the signs, which I love. And also, could you tell us a little bit about, we're going to talk about the year ahead, 2024, and we're going to look back a little bit on 2023 because it's going to make sense to you on the chaos of the year that we just came out of. So could you talk a little just about how astrology got started, where it was used in history, fun things like that?
It's so interesting. We have to go back to 2400 BC to Mesopotamia. And I think of the little streets, the little cobblestone streets with little chickens and goats along the way, and people carrying baskets of food, and they didn't have refrigerators. It's really hard to imagine.
A lot of trade.
And and the shepherds were tending their flock, and as it was becoming evening, they were noticing certain patterns. And so many of them were writing it down. Now, the farmers were using the sky as a calendar, when to sow the seeds, when to reap the harvest, and so forth. They could tell by the full moons at certain times of the year, the new moons, but they were seeing eclipses, comets. They were seeing many things going on in the sky. It's a busy place.
Mm-hmm.
And they were writing it all down, and they were seeing causal relationships. And that's really where astrology started. The Greeks loved astrology. Hellenistic astrology is where we get, I would say, 75% of what we have today. The Romans loved astrology. They picked up on it. It was the Egyptians that put it on the map. They added math. They were excellent mathematicians.
Mm.
And when Islam developed the decimal point, everyone thought astrology would go away. Now it was getting so mathematical, and yet it became more accurate. It was just the opposite of what everybody thought would happen.
Because it
And
really
so
is a lot of
it got to
mathematical.
us. Yeah.
Is it a
Well,
lot
I
of
do math all day long. It's geometry.
Gee,
Imagine the planets as people at a cocktail party. You've got 8 planets plus the sun and moon. They're not planets. The sun is a star, the moon is the Earth's satellite.
they're the hosts
And, yeah.
of the cocktail
And
party.
they're beautiful. And they're in a room. And when 2 planets get within 8 degrees, they start communicating, almost like infrared. And it's my job to decode what they're saying. And they're saying something different to every sign. So it takes me 7 hours to write my monthly for each sign. 7 times 12. I mean, it's a lot. No one sees me from, say, the 19th, 20th of the month onward. I mean, I'm Persephone. It's spring and summer at the beginning of the month, but after the 19th, I go.
You just go
down
underground.
under.
But that's what you do, is that you have always applied the details and the mathematics to astrology. And
Mhm.
so what you say comes out in a very well thought out and accurate way. I think that's a lot of the reason.
Try. I mean, my mother always, who taught me astrology, impressed upon me that you have to be accurate. You have to get feedback. That's where social media comes in. I can ask the readers. I'm on Twitter,
Mhm.
Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and Discord, all at Astrology Zone, because
Oh,
there's too many Susan Millers.
yes.
Although Facebook is Susan Miller's Astrology Zone, but all of them are at Astrology Zone. So, and on Discord, I can speak to the readers every month, twice a month.
That is
I have like
cool.
a group.
That's
Yeah,
great.
I like the audio.
Me too.
I
Me
can
too.
hear them. Yeah.
So could you explain a little bit about how, when a planet is in a specific house, or what a conjunction is? Because I think we
Okay.
saw a lot of that in 2023.
A conjunction is when 2 planets are together, shoulder to shoulder. They're aligned perfectly. Okay. Think of 2 hands on a clock. 12 o'clock. 2 hands are up at the top. That's a conjunction. And in astrology, that's not just a day. It is the onset of a cycle. And then later, now we had Jupiter-Pluto meeting in 2020. And that happens every 13 years. And it's pretty exciting, because it usually means prosperity and money flowing and big business and, all good things. But what happened was the stimulus checks. There were trillions of dollars floating around, but it wasn't the way I thought. I didn't even know what happens during a pandemic. I didn't even think that was possible in this day and age. So,
Was there a
that was
shadow aspect to all of that as well in 2020?
You mean a forbearing, a kind of hint? Well, Saturn and Pluto were together at the beginning of January of 2020, and a lot of people felt that was a dark aspect, and that was the seed. I'm not sure that that was true, but
Hard to look back.
the pandemic certainly pushed us into the new age quickly. We had never heard of Zoom. We were all isolated, which is a very Aquarian thing. Aquarian likes to be isolated from other people. They have many, many friends, but very few come in to the inner circle. We wore different clothes because we were home. and we ate different food because we could cook.
Some are still wearing those clothes.
Yeah, and in the beginning here in New York, people were terrified of even doing takeout. I mean, we didn't leave our apartments for weeks,
Right.
except to go to the supermarket.
Right.
There were many changes that were happening that were speeding us into a digital age. And we were proving to employers that we could work perfectly at home. I mean, I've worked at home all my life, and I prefer it because I find all these meetings and things kind of come in the way. Who was it? Maybe it was the CEO of Spotify or Shopify. It was Shopify. He said, no more meetings. We're wasting too much time. If you need to discuss something, walk down the hall or call somebody up. And by killing all the meetings, he said his productivity raised 20%.
That makes sense.
So,
Not of talking, just more doing. So can we talk a little bit about what's ahead for 2024? There's a lot in the news about
it's a good year, I think. I think it's a good year.
about this move from Capricorn into Aquarius. Now, I'm a Capricorn. My husband's an Aquarius. So what's happening in this household here?
Well, Aquarius becomes the leader of the parade. All the signs on the horoscope wheel are different from the sign that stands next to it. So different that it's a high contrast. Whereas Capricorn is big money, a conservative and cautious outlook because we're dealing with money, patriarchal, and the Aquarian is just the opposite. It's non-materialistic, although they do make money. I mean, they just don't prize money as an important status symbol. And they're very humanitarian. And instead of the king or president telling you what to do from the top, which is more Capricornian, what we're used to, it comes up from the bottom, from the grassroots, from the people. I think a good example during the pandemic was when George Floyd died. People went into the streets, and many people say, oh, people will demonstrate, it never changes anything. Well, the day of his funeral was an eclipse in Sagittarius, the sign of truth. And yes, it did make a difference.
Oh, yes.
A big difference
Yes,
to the way
finally.
police would be allowed to apprehend a subject or how they would treat them. And people said, no, that's not okay, what happened to George Floyd.
Oh,
That was
and this
tragic.
movement has been started and stopped so many times prior to this moment in time. I am so
Yeah.
grateful.
But
Yes.
that was I guess the last straw, the straw that broke the camel's back. That was a seminal point. And we were having the people getting a stronger voice. And you're going to see this more and more with the Aquarian influence. I've been thinking a lot about all the disinformation, and it's Neptune in Pisces, which is such a beautiful place for Pisces. It rules Pisces, Neptune, and it's great for the arts and for the flourishing of really much cultural activity. But it has done a number on us with disinformation. And I think it's California that's going, no, it's all over the United States. They're going to teach children how to verify facts. And this is great.
Great exercises in the midst of the internet. That is,
and they're going to start early. They're also, California is going back to cursive. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Because you know, a different part of your brain rules typing, talking and dictating and handwriting. And you want to develop your whole brain. And if you're on a desert island, if you can't do cursive, how are you going to put a note in a bottle? I mean, you know, think about it.
Well, you're going to print it. You're going to write it. Just printing. I love handwriting things. I mean, I love that, but it's because I'm old school.
How are we going to have a love letter if people can't do cursive?
Right.
Come on, you know?
Well,
an email doesn't quite cut it, you know.
Oh, so much gets lost in translation of emails. So how does 2024 impact others that are not Aquarius or Capricorn?
Oh, no, it affects everybody. we are moving into a digital age so fast, it's like a freight train. And let's talk about Pluto, because you never have to wait long to see his effect. Now, I always think of Pluto as coming to see God. God, summons him and says, come to the conference room. I've got to talk to you. So let's go back to 1995. That year was the year God said, you're going into Sagittarius. And Pluto said, okay, what am I doing there? Because I've been in Scorpio. Yes, you did a good job with the pedophiles and exposing what's going on in society. And now we have that registrar and all these things. Very good work, Pluto. Now you're going into Sag. It's a new concept I've come up with. It's called the internet. Military's been using it for a long time, but normal people have not. I want you to bring the internet to the masses of people. And I want you to do it worldwide, because Sagittarius is an international sign, not just local, but global. So Pluto said, this is great. Will I have a team? Yes, you will. I'm sending Neptune and Uranus into Aquarius next year. They'll give you a year to, kind of get your footing. And then Neptune will stay in 14 years and Uranus 7 years. You're staying in until 2008. So you have plenty of time. And the minute that happened, Time Inc. called me and said, would you like to be on our website? Would you like to write a column? I mean, that's like the Jolly Green Giant knocking on your door and lifting you up to the top of the mountain. I said yes, but they wanted something short for women every day. I wanted something long for men and women. Why should we exclude men? Every month. They thought I was crazy, but I talked them into it.
Yes.
So in July of 1995, Astrology Zone's idea was born, but I actually went on the internet on December 14th, 1995. Okay, so that was the blossoming of the internet. It was really exciting. God calls Pluto back. He said, okay, I've got to switch you to Capricorn. Okay, what's my new assignment? Well, I don't like what's going on with banking and with how poor people are being treated and how they're handling mortgages. And this is worldwide, not just in America. Said, okay, that's
now. We're talking now, right?
No, 2008.
Oh, okay.
And what happened in 2008? Instantly, we had a banking crisis.
Mm-hmm.
So with Pluto, that's just my point. The minute he went into Sagittarius, we got the internet. The minute he went into Capricorn, we saw the mopping up of the problems of the stock market and banking and mortgages. And now Pluto's just gone into Aquarius. We had a little preview last year. He gives us a little 10-week little idea of what's coming. They always do that. The planets always give us a little periscope of what's coming. And he's actually going to go back to Capricorn on September 2nd, only for a few weeks until November 18th. He has to tie up a few loose ends. Now, when he went back to Capricorn last year, the 3 banks in Silicon Valley failed.
Wow. So he's a truth, like he exposes truth, or he crumbles what isn't working?
And he fixes it. It's like it can't go on,
It can't go on.
And we have to protect people.
So mark September 2nd in your calendar for things that could get exposed.
They get wobbly. Yeah, but he's, for all practical purposes, in Aquarius. I wrote a little baby book. It's $4.99. It's like tiny. For me, it's like 200 pages or something. It's nothing for me. That's
tiny.
But it's about the next 200 years. Now you say, why 200?
Oh, what's it called?
The next 200 years.
Oh, the next.
And that nothing we know as our life so far is going to stay the same. It's totally going to change. But we have to look at the conjunction. Here we go again, another conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter. Now, all the astrologers were waiting for this one. Now, here's the mind-blowing fact, and this is a fact, this is scientific fact. every time we've had a conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn, it's always been in an Earth sign for 200 years. And that was Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. They'd meet, 1 year in Taurus, and then 20 years later, Virgo, and then 20 years later, Capricorn, and they never changed the sequence. They never dropped one sign out. And what was accomplished by society in the past 200 years? The Industrial Revolution and the assembly line. And it's really hard for us to imagine life more than 200 years ago, when the Pilgrims came and they were just settling here in America.
Right. And life without those things about the.
If you wanted oatmeal, you went to the general store, and the man would say, the manager, I hope that the barrel came off the boat. Oh, yes, here it is, a little scooper into a paper bag. We didn't have supermarkets. We didn't have variety. We didn't have stores where you could buy a dress. You bought fabric and you would sew it or go to a tailor.
Seamstress, yes.
It was a very different life.
So is that what technology is now to us?
A big changeover. Again, the Capricorn Earth is tangible. So it built consumerism. And that's good, because life became much more convenient than for our grandparents and even for our parents. We had more variety, but we had downsides. We had child labor, we had sweatshops, we had pollution. There were lots of things we had to clean up. So with every step forward, there's always a half step back where we have to fix things, just like AI. I mean, there are things we're going to have to fix we haven't even thought of yet, but we're trying to imagine them.
Yes.
But the driverless trucks, the flying taxis,
that's all coming.
We haven't even, no one had imagined the iPhone. And now I don't even call it a phone. It's like a little computer.
It's a device. Yes. So we are moving towards that era of the driverless car, of the flying. Thank goodness, the Jetsons.
And robots everywhere, even in your house. You'll say, hi, little R2D2, get me a Diet Coke in the refrigerator. And, well, we're going to become lazy little couch potatoes if we don't get up once in a while.
I know, exactly. But I'm more so looking to resolve the traffic problem in Los Angeles. That's my main goal.
I think with more people working at home, do you know the Earth's crust began to heal because we weren't flying much, hardly at all, and we weren't driving.
That's very true. Yeah. It did. We had a moment in time where the Earth began to heal for about 3 months, and then it went back.
Yeah, I'm worried about climate change. I am. What they tell us about the icebergs and everything.
Everywhere.
Here
yes.
in New York, they were experimenting with having gardens on the roof to lower the footprint of vegetables coming into the city. And there are some, I live in a high rise. They're not doing it here. And it's a 45-story high rise. It's a big one, but some other ones are trying to figure out the irrigation and, watering the plants and everything. But they are working on it. And the pandemic taught architects something fascinating. They said, we've been doing everything wrong. Here we turned the Javits Center into a hospital. But they were terrified that with the air units that they had, that it would only increase the pandemic through the air system. So they had to bring in the Army Corps of Engineers to work out that problem. And they did. They're brilliant.
Fantastic.
And the HEPA filters and all that stuff. And the architects watching all this said, we have built buildings that are static, and we can't have that. We need to be able to turn a building into different functions when we need it, and not those stupid little accordion walls that we had in grade school.
Right. No, exactly.
Separated the gym in half. Oh no.
How soon do you think we would see things like the flying car and the driverless car? How soon? Astrologically.
Oh, pretty soon. You know what it is? We started hearing about driverless cars just recently, like a year ago or something, or 2 years ago, and they're already putting them on the streets of San Francisco, and you're like, wait a minute, but they don't tell us everything. Like, for example, when the cell phone was being developed in the 70s, I remember when my husband was alive, he was telling me about it, and they were as big as a loaf of bread.
Yes, they were bricks. Yes.
They're in there. If anybody wants to see it, watch Wall Street, with Michael Douglas. He carries one. But there was a lot to work out, even on the internet. If you remember the first days of the internet, first we had dial-up, and then when they would put a movie on, it would last for a half a minute and it would crash your computer. And e-commerce was so hard for them to figure out because of the way the internet works. When you send a message, it could go from Dallas to Portland, Maine, over to Chicago, over to Denmark, over to England, and it keeps moving. And in that moving, the money was falling out. So they had to figure out a way to keep the money intact to get to the retailer. And I thought, oh, they're never going to figure this out. Because remember, I started early and I was in the middle of the wall of fire. I mean, people were stealing my content, putting their name on it, even though I had a federal trademark. I mean, it was hard. There were no laws until one day President Bush became my hero, actually, which I never expected. He said, today, we are going to make the internet under the umbrella of federal law, no more 50 states. And that helped me a lot.
Yes.
A lot.
And that's what we're looking at now with AI and how
We need
it's starting
laws
to get regulated.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Facebook is running these ads saying we want to partner with the federal government. I don't like those ads. I think it has to start with them. It has to start with private companies, because we see what happens in Washington. It's so hard to get agreement. The private companies have to lead the way. If you want to be a leader, you have to act like a leader.
Yes. I mean, there's a big divide there. So let's talk a little bit about, if you could, brief outlines for everyone's sign, because I know they love that. And if you could just stay leaning forward, because when you lean back, you get out of frame and we don't see your beautiful face. We see the beautiful Lily.
I moved too much.
That's okay. But yes. So what do individual signs you have to look forward to?
Well, we start with Aries because it's the sign of spring and it's the beginning of the cycle. I should say first that this year is a loaf of bread cut in half. The first half of the year has certain benefits and sparkling jewel-like aspects, and then the second year has different ones. And what is the demarcation line? It's May 25th.
Okay.
So right now, Jupiter, the giver of gifts and luck, is in Taurus. So wherever you have Taurus in your chart, in your solar chart or in your rising sign chart, we all have two charts. You have to look at both or you will only get half the forecast. For Aries, it's money. They should speak up and ask for money. Now, this trend, the one with Jupiter and Taurus, started last May. So it's continuing until May 25th this year. Some of them got the big raise last year, and quite a whopper of a raise. Aries is not shy. They speak up, so this is good. I think all the Aries listening are nodding their heads. Yes, I got the money, or I'm about to get the money. If they're wondering when they should ask, May. The new moon in May. Then it goes into Gemini. They'll have the joy of travel. Not far. So many of them have little children or have a job they can't leave to, for 2 weeks. They can't go to Europe right now. It's not really in the cards for them, but beautiful trips nearby. Maybe the Grand Canyon, the Grand Tetons, Route 1 in California. I mean, New York. There's so much to see.
Yes.
Florida. Oh my goodness. Oh.
Right.
So there's the beauty everywhere. I want to see Nashville. So Aries plan to travel later, but ask for that money now. And if you're in your own business, do a self-promotion campaign, get customers in the door, because business should be brisk. May, in general, for everyone, has so many beautiful aspects. It's insane. I mean, it's just flooded with like confetti falling all over you. That one day after another. We have the luckiest day of the year, May 17th, 18th. It kind of falls, it bridges 2 days. It's straddling over 17th and 18th. So you always use a very good day to accomplish something hard to do.
Okay, so that's
big
something to mark.
interview, or coming out with a big campaign, or sending in your manuscript for your book, or whatever it is that you want to go well. You have a lot riding on it.
Oh, so that's May 17th? Luckiest day of the year is May 17th.
18th. Yeah.
Ooh, great.
It's Jupiter conjunct the sun. But we also have something in April that's gorgeous, April 20th. Inside my calendar. Did you get my calendar? I think.
Oh,
you did.
yes. Let's definitely want to mention that to everyone. The
Right
astrologizone.com. Yes.
Here are the dates that are shaping 2024.
Yes.
And I have a whole list. And then over here, I have the eclipses. And those are, we'll talk about them in a minute. But
and for that, you can go to astrologizone.com and look for the year.
Right. It's right on the homepage. You click it. It shows you some of the art and all the features. It takes me 7 months to write it. So
yes, and
we
it's
finally added up the words. There's 16,500 words in there. So.
Wow. And all of the luckiest days of the year, what's good for you and your signs and so forth. So it impacts all of us. So the 17th is
anyway,
the
next sign is Taurus, and they're the celestial favorite right now. Now, what does that mean? Well, every 12 years, so you don't get them very often, you can have anything you want. Wow. You can have love, money, career. Usually one international trip comes up. And if you say, well, that's not going to happen to me. I have 2 little children. We have private school. I have a nanny. There's no way. And I said that. And my director in Turkey, I was writing for a Turkish magazine, Tempo. He said, we'd like you to come over. We're sending you a first class ticket and we're putting you in the 4 seasons, and we'd like you to stay here 8 days. I'm giving you a producer and a car and a driver, and you will meet the press as well. I'm like, did I win a contest?
I know, right?
Oh my God.
That's fabulous.
And I did go, and I got to see all the wonderful attractions in Istanbul. So it was really a wonderful trip. So
and that was for Aries?
Never is my point, because you could get lucky.
And that's for Aries, right?
No, that's for Taurus.
Taurus, okay.
And the second half of the year, when Jupiter leaves Taurus and they have to take off their crown, all the seeds they planted while they were the celestial favorite start to come up in the second gestation, the second cycle, a big harvest. They are coming into the biggest money year they've ever seen. It goes from May 25th to June 9th, 2025, a little over a year. Gemini gets the exact same thing. Gemini is the new celestial favorite as of May 25th. And really, before that, they have a time of quiet meditation. I ask people, what would you like to accomplish at the end of your reign as celestial favorite? And people kind of give me that far away look. No, you need to know.
So it's really good to set those intentions.
If you don't know, the universe can't give you what you haven't asked for. And like anything else in astrology, you have to show your intent, be willing to work toward it. But see, if you work towards something when I tell you to, you're not going to be frustrated. You're going to see that the universe is meeting you more than halfway, and you're making progress. Everything in astrology is timing. So even if you've had a really hard time, look, there was a lady who was just chosen the New York Times favorite book of 2023. This is a woman who had been rejected 44 times from publishers. And she kept sending her manuscript in. So, things happen when you have the right timing.
Yes.
So Gemini is just so lucky with writing. You're going to see magazines do better. You're going to see radio stations and podcasts and anything involved with transportation or communication. That's the aviation industry is going to do great. And we're going to have airplanes where the doors don't fall off.
Imagine that. Yes, great.
Oh,
Okay.
wow. And you'll see an uptick in rail. The money will go to that. We really need a better railroad system because railroad can be really fun and fast.
Yes, we need anything
separated.
like that in California. I mean, I know they're speaking about this high-speed train from LA to Las Vegas, but
Well, I took the train from Los Angeles to San Diego, and it was beautiful.
It's wonderful. Yes. Yes, that
And
is
it was
really
fast.
great. Yes.
And people don't even know it exists. And then you have Uber when you get out, or you could rent a car if you wanted to. So
it's really pretty.
I think that's nice. Nice way to travel. So you're going to see the travel industry do well, and even travel agents and logistics. Couriers like FedEx and UPS are going to boom. And well, also Amazon has their own delivery service. And then, well, maybe the post office will start doing better too. We hope.
That's everybody can work together. Yes.
Yep. And then, but all communications is really like a big boost in the arm. So we'll all benefit from that, but especially Gemini. Gemini, you're coming into your own because with Pluto in Aquarius, an air sign, that's the side of a triangle. And a trine is the best thing you can get. So you're going to have a lot of support, especially on June 2nd. Oh my God, what a prosperous day. Jupiter and Pluto are working together that day, and it's heaven. But anyway, I have all
that's
these
exciting.
days in
That's
my
Gina's
head.
birthday. That's very exciting. All right.
Oh, if your birthday coincides with a really good day, oh, magic. One of the days that I wanted to point out in April is April 20th. Jupiter trine Uranus. No, conjunct, both in Taurus. Now, this happens very rarely. It's going to be years and years and years until this happens again. And it's only happening once. What a wonderful day. And if you're born on April 20th or within a few days around that, and my daughter is, she's born on the 19th, it's doubly good for you. So you have to watch these things. And this is an aspect of hope and happiness and sudden breakthroughs and joyous. And it could even involve money coming to you unexpectedly, And I never believe in going, to the lotto. Look, if nobody won like the announcer says, nobody won in America. Of all of America, nobody won. This is a sign you shouldn't be buying these tickets. If it goes 4 or 5 months with nobody winning, it's too hard to win.
Right.
Buy a charity raffle ticket where it's a smaller pool. My friend did that, and she didn't even want to buy any tickets. I said, you got it. Your chart's showing it. This is a few years ago, and a little boy was trying to get the bicycle if he sold the most books of tickets, for the charity raffle. So she said, all right, I'll buy 5 books. And everybody in the department bought books. She won first prize. American Cancer Society. She won the Porsche.
Wow.
She forgot she even entered.
So that's a great day. April 20th is a great day for every sign, right?
Everybody will have something to be excited about.
That's a great day. Okay.
So now we have Cancer. Cancer is going to match so many new friends. If you're serious about social media and you want more followers, well, you've got to share information. Everybody has an expertise on something. And even if you're an accountant, you don't have to talk about new tax laws. If you're a great cook, talk about recipes, but share information. That's how
share. Okay.
Have people That's what the internet is all about. They're going to really expand their circle of friends. Then they go into a quiet phase, a meditative phase, because that's where people say really good things about you, but you don't know it because it's behind closed doors. But that's okay. I'll take it.
Yes,
Whenever
yes.
that happens, that's a good thing. And you have guardian angels, not the fuzzy blue kind that are in Disney movies, but real life people who really care about you and want to help you get ahead. And so it's a very nice time to plan, because next summer, not this summer, 2024, next summer, 2025, they come into their own, and they have their emerald year, their sparkling emerald year, the celestial favorite, and they keep it for a whole year. So you have to know what you want. Leo has the best aspects for career right now of any sign, but they only have it until May 25th. Well, if they say, well, that's no good, how come I don't get a year? Well, you do.
Yeah.
It started last year in May, and it will end this May. Okay. Maybe you already got the big promotion or the big story in the Los Angeles Times or the New York Times. Maybe you started a business or got a big promotion. If not, don't feel you're left out. You still have all these months until the end of May.
Okay.
Go for the gold because you have the edge. Okay, if you're an actor, you get the role of a lifetime. This is really good.
Interesting.
The entertainment industry seems to have a lot of Leos because it rules entertainment, and it's a good thing, so if you're in the entertainment field, writing a screenplay, get it out there. Don't say, oh, I'll just hand it in September. No, work hard, get it done now.
Yeah.
Because of timing. Now,
It seems like that's a big theme, is really action oriented
and I
steps,
want to
new
push
intentions.
people. And you know what the Leos say to me? Well, what about love? I want that too. They want everything at once. Yes, you will have it, but I don't want to hear about it now. I want you to work now. After May 25th, let's say Memorial Day. After Memorial Day, that's the 27th, but it's close enough. After Memorial Day, the rest of the year, you're going to socialize, you're going to make new friends. Among the faces that come into your life, one may be that special person you want to get to know better. You're single. If you're attached, lots of friends around you, lots of activities, but not until you get to Memorial Day and beyond, okay? Right now, Leo, you have to keep your nose to the grindstone, and you've got to keep working because you've got a chance of a lifetime here. Okay, Virgo. Virgo has the best travel aspects for international travel. Oh, I'd love them to go somewhere because later in the year, they won't be able to. After May 25th, they're getting the job that they always dreamed of. They're hitting the top of the charts. And if they're in the communication or medical field, double everything I've just said, because Virgo rules those fields. Some of my best editors are Virgos, but they do well in coding when every little dot and dash has to be perfect. They're detail people. And medical, any kind of medical, looking at the MRIs or looking at blood samples or something. These people are so talented. They are going to really get the adulation. They deserve it. And they are not a person to beat their chest and say, look what I've done. Look, I've done such great work. They're not like that. They're shy. They're modest.
Those are the x-ray techs and the doctors to have. Check their signs.
But the parade is coming to their door, so they needn't worry. I love what's happening with Libra. They've had a lot of bad expenses, and it wasn't their fault. And no matter how they tried, expenses kept blowing up in front of them. They'd work out the budget, they'd get everything really nice, working on their credit score to get a great score, paying their bills early, doing everything right. And then their car battery needs to be replaced for $5,000, or their tires, or their water heater in their house, or something kept happening.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the universe, I think, feels a little guilty and is going to correct that.
Nice.
So they are little money magnets, but it's not money that you get in salary. It's money like commission, royalty, bonus, cash advance, or it could be you put in an insurance policy claim and you get more than you thought you were going to get.
Wow.
Could be a tax
I want
refund.
that to
Oh, we
happen.
love those. Those are great.
Yes. All of that. All the above.
So you see one-time big lumps.
Okay.
Okay. And so that's good. They may even get a cash gift from their parents. If you say, well, no, my parents have never given me a dime. Well, if you're going to buy a house and you just don't have the down payment, a lot of parents want to give part of their inheritance while they're alive to see the joy in their children. So even if your parents have never helped you, they might help you. If you share your thinking, if you ask nicely and say, you probably will say no, but I'm kind of stuck. I want to buy this house. They may help you. In the second half of the year, they're going to get to travel a lot or go back to graduate school, possibly win a law case. What else do we have?
And this is Scorpio?
No, this is for Libra.
Libra. Okay. And then,
Okay.
so
Now,
if you have
Scorpio-
missed any part of this, and if you want to find out your own specific sign, you can always go to astrologyzone.com. It's free and you can always look up your sign. There's 5 to 6 pages on each sign there. So check it out.
Well, every month I change it.
Every month. Yes.
But, and also on the app. If you have an iPhone or a Samsung, go to Google Play or the Apple App Store, just put in Susan Miller and my 2 apps come up. Because then you don't have to be typing away. The Scorpios have the best marriage aspects. And a couple of years ago, they had such beautiful aspects for love and romance and the emotional side of life. They're very business oriented. They care about their reputations. And they took time to build a personal life. And I think many of them have gotten engaged or going to be married before this trend is over. After this, they become the little lucky people with money falling from the sky all over them, dollar bills flying all around them. It's a wonderful image.
I like it. Yes.
Lots of money.
Can that be for all of us? Yes.
That's the Scorpios. Yep. Sagittarius, they are having trouble buying a house, or actually, I shouldn't say having trouble. They're saving up, maybe. They're willing to sacrifice for something bigger, but they have to watch flooding or problems with water. So they must ask the appraiser to spend more time on possible water damage, mold, snow on the roof, problems with that, any kind of water related problem. Their best part of their chart in the beginning of the year is health and fitness. And believe it or not, I did a lot of study on this, and it makes no sense, but here goes. Jupiter, which is their ruler, is in the house of health, and you lose weight easily with Jupiter and not with pills.
Right.
I'm not so sure I would risk that, because we don't have a lot of time with those pills. So I'm saying easily you get rid of processed foods. Simple. And you're so busy. You're going to be very busy at work. You're going to get all the plum assignments. If you have your own business, for some reason, customers are flocking to your door. They want your goods and services. You may have to hire more people. That's okay, because you're going to find them. Because Jupiter in the 6th house helps you find gems. So you really set. And in the second part of the year, and this, who's the famous Sagittarian? It's Taylor Swift.
I was gonna say.
The best marriage aspects.
Okay.
So after Memorial Day for a whole year. So we're all hoping, and no, he's not going to propose after the Super Bowl. What if he loses? No. And do
That
you
would be a
think he's
bad
going
day.
to play football with a diamond ring in his pocket somewhere? Oh my goodness. No, 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 no,
It
no.
is interesting, though. She seems to be a worldwide phenomenon right now. This is her time. I mean,
It is her
influentially,
time. It's too soon.
money,
Although
everything.
she's 33, he is too. And he's a Libra
No, it's
or
her
has
time
Libra
just
rising.
globally. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
curious what her sign is, but yes, that is
She's
interesting.
Sag. She is a
Oh,
global Sagittarian.
gotcha.
And she's hitting all the best. You know, when I did her chart for the Washington Post, I called the editor and I said, did she come out of poverty? He said, no, why would you ask that? I said, almost all her planets are in money houses. Like it's important to her. He said, no, she comes from wealth. I said, really? Okay. Then this means she will not squander the family jewels. She'll add to them. And this is when she just started.
Mm.
What a phenomenon. Beyonce has all her planets in money houses. So does Katy Perry. So maybe that is a signature of success. I don't know, but it does show a lot of energy goes into making money. Like when she redid her album, and she was right. You know, she
Yes,
should
yes,
have control over her product.
yes,
And
exactly.
I think she's helping others by doing
Do
that.
the same
You
thing.
know,
Yes,
other
yes.
musicians.
Good example.
So anyway,
Okay, two
I
more signs
love
to
the
go,
two of
right?
them. They're made for each other. So I'm hoping they will get married before June 9th of 2025. Okay, she's got a lot of time. But if she wants a baby, and I think she might, I think she might. I don't
Wait, we have
know.
three more signs to go. We have
Okay.
5 minutes.
Capricorn has the best love aspects for new love, or to enjoy your partner and get more attention from your partner. Don't we all want attention? Yes, of course we do.
And what
And
about
it's like,
money?
sorry, uh, not money right now. Well, they're going to have a very brisk business in the second half of the year. But while they have the good love aspects, they may have a baby, or they might decide to direct it into creativity where it blossoms beautifully. So that's really strong for Capricorn in the beginning of the year. That's their better part of the year. Second half of the year, health and fitness and good business.
Okay.
Aquarius, of course, is the leader of the parade. They have the best romantic aspects in the second half of the year. And I'm so happy of any sign. Well, Gemini has it too, but it's just magical. And I felt bad for Aquarius because month after month I didn't see a lot. There was always something to come in the way. I would even get letters. Did you forget about love for us? You don't talk about it. Well, I couldn't talk about something that wasn't there.
Yes.
Now I'm going to sound like a broken record. It's glorious and it's so good that I think they'll find the one if they want a real
Yay.
relationship.
Yes.
And then we have Pisces, home and family in the second half of the year. First half of the year, a lot of writing, a lot of communicating, a lot of podcasting, or any kind of communication. They do well in. They could get a book contract, whatever they want. But the second half of the year, if they want to buy a house, it's after Memorial Day until the first half of next year, 2025. Got plenty of time, and the interest rates are coming down, they say. And even Barbara Corcoran
Yes.
says, buy a house when there's no competition right now. Nobody's buying houses because the interest rate is high. But get a fixed mortgage and renegotiate it when it comes down. And I did that a long time ago when I bought my apartment. And I thought it would be a big Megillah and 12 people at the table the way it was when you first bought your house. No, it's a very simple process, and it's very few people at the table the second time. You've already proven your credit worthiness, and it all goes very smoothly, and your bank will help you.
Do you think that
So,
we, as an economy, that the economy will get better in 2024?
well, I think it's good already, but yes, it's going to continue to grow and get better because we have Jupiter and Pluto being so friendly on June 2nd. Now, we do have a problem at Christmas time. Here's what's going on. Mercury's going to go retrograde around Thanksgiving until December 15th. That's terrible for buying gifts that people are going to love. And we don't want the gift to go back to the store. So we might have to just buy a gift card, Xerox the front and back. So in case the person loses it with Mercury retrograde, you have a copy of the number and you put the name of the person, because if you get a few gift cards, you have to know which one got to which person. But there's something else that disturbs me more. Mars goes retrograde every 2 years. Now, when Mars is healthy, he takes 2 days to go 1 degree. That's when he's moving along like a little Mighty Mouse. He's doing great. At the beginning of December, near December 6th, the date he goes retrograde, it takes him 18 days to go 1 degree. He stays retrograde until February 23rd.
Oh my goodness.
We're
Well, I mean, it
walking through
sounds like overall 2024 is going to be a great year for
It's
many.
wonderful. So
At least you're
how
looking
do
at the
you use
positive
this?
aspects of everything. And I'm really grateful for that too. Well, I mean, I want to say thank you so much to Susan Miller. She has been such a huge, wonderful influence in our lives and brilliant at what she does. Please go to astrologyzone.com to get your free reading and your free horoscope, and also the app as well, Susan Miller's Astrology Zone. And I thank you so much for having a great year. Until next time, I'm Lisa Garr, and I invite you to stay aware.